Hey, welcome everyone. Thanks for being here today with us. Today I have Rebecca Arnold with Young Living Essential Oils. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, thanks for having me, Tim.
Absolutely appreciate you taking time to visit with us today. Hey, so I know a little bit about your background. You've got some sports, I think, history in your background, if I remember right. For folks who don't know you, would just share a little bit about that, please.
Yeah, that's kind of what led me to where I'm at today is I was an athlete in college and best time of my life, one of the best times in my life, and it was awesome, but it did take a toll on my body. And so later on in life, when things started going wrong, I went the traditional route, the traditional medicine route, and that just brought me no relief or anything. And so then I started searching different alternatives, and that eventually led me into nutrition and then oils and detoxifying my home and things like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's fabulous. And do I remember correctly that you were a volleyball player in college?
I was a volleyball player, yes.
And that was where? Arizona State?
Arizona State, yeah.
Yes, fantastic. That's quite the experience, I imagine.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like it. I mean, it's definitely a job, but there's nothing like it. It's awesome.
Yeah, fantastic. And you and I have sat down before. We've had coffee. And one of the things I've appreciated about you is that you don't just talk the talk about healthy living, you walk the walk. I mean, you really are dedicated to healthy living. And, I've been talking with a lot of folks about the stay-at-home situation that we've been facing. And it's been a challenge for folks. And if you would just kind of share a little bit about maybe what's changed for you and what are some of the tips, some of the advice you have for folks to help us stay healthy and focused during this time?
Sure. Well, one of the things that this has, I guess, woken people up about is that they're responsible for their health, and you can't rely on someone else to take care of your health. So that when we come into a situation like this, if you haven't taken care of your health, you're going to be much more at risk. And so I always teach people to practice prevention and get yourself healthy beforehand. So one of the things I've seen is people panicking a little bit about, how do I take care of myself? There are those that were already doing it, and they just kept doing what they were doing. And then there were those that needed to jumpstart. And so I've been trying to help both groups. For me personally, it's really, it's been good for me because it's forced me into a path that I was maybe dragging my feet a little in terms of, organizational systems and marketing and videos and those kind of things. So I started to write a blog and just doing some things that will reach the people that really want my help, as opposed to just being out there and hoping that I find those people. So it's been good for me. Some of the pitfalls for other people are that, we're washing our hands a lot, right? We're doing the things that we're told to do, and that's all good. But I tell people, if you're washing your hands all the time and there's chemicals in the soap that you're using, then you're kind of like, it's a catch-22, right? So I guess that's a place to start, is teaching people to detoxify their home first so that they keep their immune system strong. So I don't know if that answers the question, but
no, that's good. I've got some other questions I want to ask you as well. But so I'm curious, so you've got those folks who are on the straight and narrow path already paying attention to their house, that they're detoxifying their house, paying attention to their physical health. What about the folks? You mentioned that other class of folks, the folks who weren't paying quite as much attention. What advice do you have for those folks in terms of, if this is a wake-up call for them, how do they start? What sort of steps should they take? Where should they look first?
Yeah, that's awesome. So the first thing I say is you've got to detoxify your house. And by that, I mean, you got to start looking at the products that you're currently using and take a look at the labels and see the products, the ingredients that are in there, because a lot of those ingredients, I'd say 95% of these products are actually harming your immune system. And so we think we're cleaning or we're doing things, but at the same time, you're weakening your immune system. And the body is this amazing machine that will heal itself if given the right opportunity. But too many times we create roadblocks for it by dumping chemicals into our body. And we're doing it unknowingly, but we're inviting those things into our home. And so I try and teach people how to become aware of that so that they can start replacing that with more natural products, plant products, things that are really pure, that are going to help your system, not hurt your system. So that's the first place to start, is getting your house detoxified. And then positive emotions, right? I mean, don't underestimate the power of positive thinking and positive emotions. And then, of course, nutritional excellence, supplementary, supplementing your diet with awesome supplements, and then exercise, things like that. So kind of as a trickle down. You got to start, you got to get your house cleaned out, then you work from there. Definitely.
Yeah, it makes total sense. So do you have any advice for folks who struggle with that? Folks who, again, I've talked to a lot of folks, we've heard, stories about a lot of folks who they've gotten home and they're talking about the COVID 5 or 10 or 15 pounds, depending on that particular person's situation. What are there practical steps that you'd advise folks to say, take this step, do this every day, create a routine, or do the walking, or whatever it is?
Yeah, definitely there are. I like to sit down with people, obviously not in person right now, but and find out where they're at, and find out where they're at on the path, so that I can help them better. I can say, here's a supplement you should take, here's what you should do. But until I know where you're at, where you've been, what kinds of things you've, what stresses you put on your body and things like that. Then once I get that idea, then I can kind of lead them. There are certain things that are my go-tos, that I was like, it's non-negotiable. You got to do this. And cleaning your house out is one of them. You got to do that. You got to do some sort of antioxidant support. There's just things like that. And then using immune support things like oils and things like that. Obviously, I do oils and wellness products, and so there's a lot of those that can help too. But it's a lot when you look at everything you need to do, and so I try and break it down to, let's start somewhere. Let's just start doing this one thing. Let's change out the laundry soap that we're using, because that's one of the laundry room is one of the biggest toxic waste dumps in your house. So maybe we'll just start with one room, and go from there. You can't do it all in one day. You definitely have to take it.
Makes total sense. We've moved toward natural products in terms of soaps and detergents and all of that sort of thing a long time ago. Yeah. Because I just found that I feel better. I have a real sensitivity to those chemical components. And one of the things, and I'm assuming we're on the same page here, but air fresheners just drive me crazy. It seems to me like, here's the perfect way to induce toxins into your house by plugging in air fresheners.
Right, and people don't understand what those toxins do. They think, oh, it smells good, whatever, but they're disrupting your hormone system. They're leading you down the path to cellular, using the correct word, cellular damage, which leads to disease, which just from smelling these things or letting them touch your skin, they just don't know how. And then once you're away from them and then you are exposed to them again, you're like, I can't even be in the same room, So yeah, it's definitely something to think about. Like, no, candles are, everybody loves candles and plugins, but that would be one of the first places I would start with someone.
Yeah, it makes total sense. I'm definitely on the same page with you there.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you are really talking about even though you can start in small steps, maybe one step at a time, the way you encourage folks, it sounds like you're really talking about not a quick fix necessarily, but a lifestyle. You're really talking about your health, your food, your nutrition, toxins in your house, and all-encompassing sort of a lifestyle.
Definitely. And then, exercise is good too, but if you're exercising and you're not taking care of your health, you're really just putting more stress on your body. And my analogy is always, I'm looking for people that are ready to go all the way, that want to jump across the Grand Canyon and land on the other side, and not just jump halfway. And where do you end up then? You don't really end up in a good spot. So, I want to help those people that are ready to really make changes in their lives. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, fantastic. And again, I appreciate the fact so much that you really do embody this yourself, that you set a good example for folks. And I know that your company is Young Living Essential Oils, but again, you take a very holistic, very rounded approach and touch all of these various aspects of life.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't it's not one thing. It's a combination of a lot of things, definitely.
Sounds great. Well, hey, thanks so much for stopping by. Any final words of wisdom for us today?
No, just like take baby steps, get engaged, get curious, take some steps, and you're on your path, you're on your way. So
Awesome. Rebecca, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
thank you.
All right.
Bye.